Hey guys, Marsningen here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today I thought we would go over some important stuff that is going to be dropping tomorrow. Everyone is obviously hyped about the Ultra Instinct Goku Awakening and Jiren coming to Global, especially because they've come a lot earlier than scheduled compared to JP. But one thing we shouldn't forget is all the other awakenings that come along with this banner. So there's quite a few to cover, so I'm going to split it up into two parts, and I'll probably just upload the second part later today. But for the first part we are going to cover the Goku Awakenings. So both the AGL and STR Super Saiyan God Gokus get Dokkan Awakenings with the medals from the Ultra Instinct event. Like all secondary awakening units, they need 35 of the medals instead of the full 77. Now, these two units are quite interesting because they are very similar. So this is the AGL Flaring Battle Impulse Super Saiyan God Goku. His leader skill, all types, Ki +2, HP attack and defense 40%. Not the worst. He's kind of like a little bit of a downgrade on Caulifla, but the fact that he gives all three stats a boost makes him better than a lot of other options if your box is limited. His super attack is the Limit Breaker Kamehameha. It raises his attack and causes supreme damage. So it doesn't say that it's for a certain amount of turns, so this is one of those mechanics that will just stack and stack, so he can get more powerful as the battle goes on, which is pretty good. His passive is attack and defense plus 80% when performing a super attack. So obviously that means if he's getting hit before he attacks, he won't get that extra defense boost, so that's something to bear in mind. Then his link skills are Godly Power, Shocking Speed, Super Saiyan, Over in a Flash, Kamehameha, Warrior Gods, Fierce Battle. Categories, he is in Realm of Gods, Universal Survival Saga, and Pure Saiyans, which obviously we don't have on Global yet, unfortunately. Does it give a detail? So his 12 key multiplier is 142%, which seems odd. But yeah, so the Razor's attack is a 30% boost, but like we said, that will stack. Now, if we compare him to the strength one, so bear in mind, passive is attack and defense 80%, supreme damage, raises attack. So this guy has the exact same leader skill. This is Divine Power within Super Saiyan God Goku. I do like the art. He has a crazy red dragon fist. So it's called the Dragon Smash. So it's supreme damage again, raises attack and defense by 30% for 3 turns. So he raises his attack by 30% as well, but he also raises his defense by 30%, but it's only for 3 turns. So obviously if he's on main rotation, you can get a double stack out of that, but that's as far as it goes. So he can't indefinitely stack his attack like the AGL, but he does also stack his defense, and then his passive is exactly the same, which means that overall this Goku will hit basically the same on the first. In fact, yeah, they'll both hit for around the same in the first couple of turns, but the STR one will tank slightly better, and the AGL one will start to outdamage him after a few turns. Their links are exactly the same, except for one major change, which is the STR one gets the first awakened instead of Kamehameha, and he is also not in the Universal Survival Saga category. His 12 key multiplier is 140%. I wonder if the other one is a typo, because 142 seems very odd. I imagine the AGL one is probably either 140 or 145. But we'll have to wait until that's actually active in the game, I guess, to see. So the big key question that comes up is which one is better. Now, it kind of depends on what team you're going to run them on, where they have their uses. Obviously, if you want to run a Universal Survival Saga team because you pulled Jiren, you have to use this guy because the STR one is not in the category. He does share Kamehameha with the Ultra Instinct Goku, as well as Over in a Flash, Fierce Battle. Pretty sure the other, I can't remember if the other one has Godly Power actually. I should have brought up the Ultra Instinct Goku. Let's do that. So this will be Ultra Instinct Goku's Awakening, if you haven't seen this already. We're going to cover this in more detail in a separate video, but here is all the information. So yeah, he has Godly Power, Fierce Battle, First Awakened. he has over in a flash and prepared for battle, whereas the other guys have over in a flash and shocking speed. So he has some pretty good attack links, but the First Awakened is one of those rare links, and it's 25% attack. So Kamehameha is only 2,500, which is still okay if you compare it to his base stats when he is max with plus 2,000, so with no dupes. That 2,500 is pretty much 25% of his attack, but then that doesn't take into account all the things like the leader skill bonuses and stuff. So the First Awakened is a better attack link skill, but like I say, he is not. The STR one is not in the Universal Survival Saga category team. So for a Universal Survival team, obviously the AGL one is, I was going to say better, but he's the only option. Great link partner for Goku. But then if you're going to run the Realm of Gods team, you can obviously run either, but I would say you want to go with the Strength one because the First Awakened link is so much better. And then it's not really important for us for now, but also the fact that on the Pure Saiyans team, the physical Bardock is an optimal support unit, and he also has the First Awaken, so it works really well when he slots in if you run a rotation of Ultra Instinct Goku and this guy. So as you can see, they are both pretty similar. They only have very small differences that make them more or less useful on a specific team. If you're running Realm of Gods, it really doesn't matter a huge amount. The STR one is probably slightly better, but if you have both of them, whichever one has more dupe or orb investment is going to be the one that you want to go with, since they are so similar. And if you have them both exactly the same, obviously test them out, and then I guess it's just like anything in Dokkan, just go with whichever one's your favourite. I quite like this one because the AGL one just has a fairly boring Kamehameha super attack animation, whereas I do quite like the Dragon Fist. I do have both of them with no dupes, so I will do a little bit of testing, but I'm probably going to get this guy up to SA10 with Kai's, because I farmed 9 of the physical Ultra Instinct Gokus to raise his super attack, so don't need to use any on him. But for the last part of the video, there is one more Goku that gets an awakening, and this is the Strength Super Saiyan Blue Goku, based around the last part of the Goku Black arc. So if you don't recognise him, he is this one. He came out around the time that Rage Trunks and Mosamasu came out. I think he was on a banner that had like the father-son Gallic gun for Vegeta and Trunks as well, and it was like you got one of those 3 as a GSSR, I think. So he was decidedly average, but his awakening is actually great, and he is possibly one of the best Super Saiyan Blue Gokus now. So his leader skill is all types, Ki +3, attack and defense 50%. So unfortunately he doesn't give a HP boost, so he's not on the level of Caulifla or Marseillan. To be honest, taking that hit for the extra ki, even the Godkus probably have a slightly more useful leader skill, because you really want that HP. So his super attack is a Kamehameha, just does supreme damage, no extra effects there. But his passive skill is attack and defense plus 90%, which is really solid. Like, you think Dokkan Fest units often only give themselves a 100% boost, or maybe slightly higher than 100, but only to 1 stat. So just to bear in mind, Jiren, who comes out on this banner, who is, you know, a pretty great unit, aside from his potential to stun, his passive ability is attack and defense plus 100%. So this Goku has a passive that is almost as good as his. So he's going to be able to hit quite hard and tank, which is going to be pretty decent. Plus, in those instances where you're facing 2 or more enemies, like the first stage of a Dokkan event or in the World Tournament, he gets an additional 50% attack. So he's giving himself 140% attack in those phases where you have 2 or more enemies. His links are pretty basic Super Saiyan links at this point. Super Saiyan, Saiyan Warrior Race, Warrior Gods, Kamehameha, Fierce Battle, Saiyan Lineage, Prepared for Battle. Nothing really out of the ordinary you'd expect not to see. Categories are Realm of Gods and Pure Saiyans, which again, very typical for a Super Saiyan Blue Goku. So he definitely becomes a much better unit. Nothing about him screams being particularly special, like he doesn't have an interesting effect with his super attack, but that passive is just very solid. And so it makes him a good unit. So if you need to fill a slot on the Realm of the Gods team, and you want someone that fits nicely and isn't just going to be a liability in that third slot, he is definitely going to be good for that. Most of the team will have prepared for battle depending on who you're going to run, as well as Super Saiyan and of course Fierce Battle. And yeah, he gets a nice tanky body as well as a decent attack boost, so he is definitely a decent unit. His 12 key multiplier is 140% as well, which is just pretty average at this point. So yeah, he is a very solid unit. I think I have him with maybe one dupe. I don't think I've ever really used him before. I think the only problem with him is that Super STR is a very competitive team. There are so many good options that I don't know. He probably is just relegated to being a slot filler on Super STR. So he's definitely much better on the Realm of the Gods team. Like if you have Ultra Instinct Goku, once you get him awakened and you're running that 150% leads team, this guy is going to be very solid on that team as a slot filler. So definitely one to look out for. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. Just wanted to go over these awakenings quickly, and we'll upload part 2 later on today, where we will talk about the awakenings for the Universe 6 Saiyans. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.